Good morning and welcome to Nora's Dog Training Company. We're here this morning with Bear and Rich, and what we're going to be demonstrating for you today on video is Bear's ability to understand and respond to his formal on-leash obedience commands. The little corrections and lots of motivation that we give the puppies when we're working with them, and the training equipment that we're using. Rich is using a regular 6-foot web training leash, and he keeps the bulk of the leash folded neatly in his right hand. That leaves his left hand free to give any correction that's needed. And the only correction that we give here at school is a little tug and release on the training collar. And that is the second piece of equipment that we're using. You're going to be introduced to your training equipment and taught how to use it properly during your follow-up training session this afternoon. Now, Bear is sitting very nicely at Rich's left, which is where all of our obedience training is done. And the first exercise that we're going to demonstrate for you is heeling. Heeling is proper leash walking, and the command is Bear, heel.
Bear.
Now, at this point, Bear has a job to do, and that is to remain neutral with your left leg when you're walking. Not dragging you down the street, not forging ahead, but maintaining pace with you.
Bear, heel.
If Rich turns, Bear turns. And you can see that Bear enjoys working. He's looking up at Rich. He's got a happy tail. When Rich stops his feet, Bear's been taught to sit automatically without being told to wait for his next command. So if you're walking down the street and you stop to cross traffic or talk to someone on the street, he should be sitting nicely, more focused on you than what's going on around him. And this makes walking him a pleasure, which means he'll get more walks. When you have a big male dog that's dragging you down the street, everybody has a tendency not to want to walk him, and rightly so. Now, the next command that we're going to demonstrate is the sit, stay. The stay is a hand and a voice command, and because it is a stationary exercise, it is a one-word command. You can practice your stationary exercises indoors as well as outdoors, and you're going to lengthen out the time and the distance. When Rich returns back to him, he walks all the way around him, counterclockwise. Bear should remain seated until Rich gets back to his shoulders, and at this point, he expects to get another command, and Rich will give him the heel command again. And one thing about Malinois is that they were bred to work, so this is giving him a job. They're capable of great things. His eye contact and focus is really spot on. And you can see he enjoys the whole learning process and performing for his trainer. And now our job is to get him to perform for you. Rich leaves him in another sit stay, and remember, you're going to start out at about 30 seconds and in a couple months be up to 3 minutes and be able to drop your leash. This time, instead of returning to him, Rich is going to demonstrate the come on command. He does use his name. He lightens his tone, and Bear comes right in and sits facing his knees. And that way you don't have a dog that's jumping all over you when you call him. And then he goes back to heel and back sitting. Rich gives him the heel command again. And you notice Rich will turn, and you can do right turn, left turn, about turn to keep it interesting for him, because if they get easily bored because they're so highly intelligent.
Stay.
Rich leaves him in another sit stay. He backs up to the end of his training leash, and he's going to call him again.
Bear.
And don't make your come command too exciting, because then he really comes barreling in. So that's why Rich keeps it kind of low-key when he's using the come on command. He heels him out of that, and now we're going to move on to your down commands. He's a very handsome boy. He's a big boy. Now, the next command that we're going to demonstrate for you is the down from heel position. So always have your dog seated first, left open palm straight down toward the ground, and the one-word command to down and stay. Your long down stay, again, is best practiced right in your living room. You're going to start out at about 1 minute to 1.5 minutes, and you're going to work all the way up to 5 minutes. When Rich returns back to him, he walks back to him just as he did on the sit-stay, walking all the way around him and stopping at his shoulders. Everything starts and stops at that heel position. And at this point, Bear expects to get another command, and Rich heels him out of that. And they will demonstrate that again for us. Sit, down, stay. Perfect. And you can practice this outdoors as well as indoors. We do our videos outside so you can get a better view of what the dog has learned. But these commands are to be used indoors as well. Rich calls him out of that down and has him go back to heel, back sitting. If he doesn't sit, he gives him that little correction. We know you've missed him terribly. We appreciate the few extra days that you gave us with him. It really made all the difference. Now, Rich is going to leave him in a sit-stay. He's going to turn to face him. This is your down from a distance. This is the only time that you use your right hand to give the command, and Rich drops him into a down from the end of his leash. Now he got up, so he'll repeat it. He has to complete the exercise the way it was taught, or he has to repeat it. Rich calls him in. Now we have demonstrated for you all of Bear's formal on-leash obedience commands. You're going to get a chance to work with him today with Rich acting as your coach. He has done a great job here at school, and we're here for you post-graduation. We want to thank you for choosing Nora's Dog Training Company, and we will see you very soon.